Hi guys, welcome to our podcast. My name's Daine and I've got Ollie with me today, and today we are going to be discussing why women should consider strength training. So you'll notice in the bio, we're trying to keep these podcasts in bite-sized chunks so you guys can digest some of the topics that we're talking about nice and easy. So we're going to try and keep this one in under 5 minutes. Ollie, go, start us off. Why should women consider strength training? What points would you advise people to consider as to why the reasons they should start doing some weight bearing activity?
The key reasons are quite simple. It's definitely the type of training that's going to accelerate you towards your goals without question. And I think you need to get rid of the misconception that strength training or even weight training means that you're going to be lifting really heavy weights. That's not what it's about.
Yeah. Completely agree. In your experience as a health and fitness professional, what typically is the kind of the attitude to women that might not necessarily have a kind of a base level of experience or knowledge around exercise? What's kind of been their attitude when they've kind of first come to perhaps see you back when you was in the club as a PT? How would they respond when you would kind of start to look at approaching strength training and including that as part of their routine?
Yeah, the response was always one of fear and trepidation. I think a lot of women are also concerned that if they do that type of training, they are going to, explode into some sort of muscle monster, which is also just, completely false. That's not going to happen. If that was ever to happen, then you'd see, a load of Arnold Schwarzeneggers walking around the gym. So it's certainly not going to be true for women who get into strength training. If men who are trying to get bigger deliberately are struggling to do so because there's certain, limiting factors that we don't need to talk about. But basically, there should be no worry about that either. And that's the main thing that I always got.
Okay, good. So you'd find that once they've kind of finished that session, having that kind of little bit of education from the likes of yourself, would kind of give them some confidence as to why they should approach it. Good, because as we know, this is one of the goals and reasons why we picked this particular topic, is that we hope that any women that might be watching this and they don't currently have strength training included into their schedules regularly, we want you to kind of come away from this video and it almost acts as a prompt for you to be able to start looking at ways you can start introducing it. Because as we know, Ollie, there's lots of health benefits to strength training. We know that just kind of, if we was to pick either strength training or cardiovascular training, there's actually more health benefits associated with just strength training. However, we know that they're both should be going hand in hand, and having a healthy balance of the two, is really important. So why don't you just touch on some of the kind of basic, bullet points as to what are the real benefits to strength training?
Sure. So primarily you've got energy expenditure. So just like any other activity, strength training is going to take up energy, and probably more energy than other activities that might take you the same amount of time. So we could look at that as strength work being something that is energy dense, which is great if we're looking to end up in a calorie deficit. Also, what strength training does is wakes up and helps lubricate and maintain healthy joints across all of your body if you're doing good compound movements. We can touch on that probably in a different podcast. And also, by developing strength and therefore growing additional muscle tissue on your body, and again, that won't be inordinate amounts of muscle, it's just more than you already have, means that when you're not doing any activity, your body will be burning more energy, okay? Because to sustain muscle, we need additional energy, okay? So it stands to reason that if we build more, then we're always going to need to use more energy, and that's only good if we're looking to maintain a a particular body shape, mass, or aesthetics. So the way you look.
Yeah, sure. Some really good points. And, just to summarize, muscle is really valuable to us. It's I think goes without saying, it's one of the most valuable compounds that we have in our body. Like Ollie mentioned, it's responsible for our metabolism. It's the only compound in our body that really allows us to put fat into the bloodstream and utilize that as fuel. So we've just kind of gone over the 5-minute mark, so I think we'll wrap this video up. We're trying to keep these short for you guys. If you do have any topics that you'd like us to kind of pick up and discuss, pop them in the comment box below, and we look forward to seeing you on the next podcast, guys. So stay safe, take care, and we look forward to seeing you guys very soon.